everybody. It is Rita Goodrow. Happy Wednesday? Happy Wednesday. For a minute, it felt like it might be a Thursday. That is how fast my week has gone. I was looking at the calendar, and I can't believe that we're already like almost 1 month through the second quarter of the year. I don't know if it's just me, but this year is just flying by. I am so excited to be here. Hold on, I'm going to bring Rachel on camera with me. Excited to be here today. And I'm going to tell you why Rachel has joined. Hello.
Hi, we made it.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
Good. Hey, Rachel, so there's one thing I have to ask you. And we might have to start this over again. Do you have headphones by chance?
Do you also have the computer on it? No, I can go turn it off.
I can hear myself, I believe, like the video, but the way to eliminate that is that you have headphones.
Okay, let me go grab them.
I'm just going to go grab them. I'll talk to everybody and we'll come back.
All right.
All right. Hi, everyone. So you'll hear the echo. If you can sit with us for just 1 minute, we're going to fix it. And I'm going to bring you Rachel Talton because she's amazing and wonderful and we're absolutely going to want to know who she is. But as soon as the echo is stopped. I feel like you should have the side. I can't hold. We're just gonna roll it.
Okay, I have my headphones in, and they're charged, actually.
Okay. I'm still hearing the echo. Hold on 1 second, Rachel. Are they plugged into your phone? Connected to your phone?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hold on. Please hold. Okay, wait, there. It's gone. Okay, good. Rachel, can I hear you? Say hello. Can you hear me?
Now I can. Yes, now I can hear you.
All right, good. All right, everybody. That's
Yay! And we have no more echo.
I know, that's Facebook Live. All right. So hi, everybody. Let's take two on this. Hi, everyone. I am Rita Goodrow. You know me as the founder of Women's Business Garden, the group that you're in right now. I am joined by Rachel Talton today. I let people know a while ago that this interview was going to happen, but I know so many of you said, I won't be around. Will there be a replay? Yes. If you're seeing this, you're watching the replay, if it doesn't say live, in the corner. So Rachel has founded a wonderful conference that we're going to talk about today that's taking place May 3rd in Washington, D.C. And it's the Flourish D.C. conference for women in leadership. And we're going to jump into telling you what it's about. We're going to tell you what our theme is, and we're going to tell you why you won't want to miss it, why you absolutely want to be there. But the reason that I am bringing Rachel on, and this is something I haven't talked about that much, is that behind the scenes, I'm also a co-chair for this conference. So I have really gotten to know the team and the mission and what this conference is about. And I will just tell you that it's absolutely amazing. It's a powerful group of people that have come together to create real meaningful impact. So a lot of times people will tell me you went to conferences and it was kind of a waste of a day or a waste of time, or you felt like you were going to learn more than you did, or that you're going to walk away with more of a change or more information than you actually walked out of the door with. And I'll say that this conference is not going to be one of those times that people who are bringing you this event, their hearts, their souls are in it. They have run this event many times. They know exactly what needs to be done to make sure that you leave with everything that you need to kind of succeed out there in your business, in your career, in your life. And I'm really excited. So Rachel, thank you for joining me. Hi. So why don't you introduce yourself to everybody, because they've never seen your beautiful face here before, and let everyone know just who you are and how did it come to be that you started this conference, right? Like, it's not like we wake up one day and go, when I grow up, I'm going to be a conference creator. I mean, maybe people are saying that now, right? But how was it that you decided, like, what was your trajectory to starting this conference?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Rita. You are amazing, and it was just so wonderful and lovely to be with you last week.
Yes.
Can you believe that was only a week ago?
Crazy.
So I'll give you the short version of my trajectory. So I was a marketing executive in banking, which was totally accidental. I had started my life expecting to be, or at least at the age of 6, I started, wanting to be a psychiatrist. I saw the movie Sybil. I don't even know if you know this story. So I saw the movie Sybil when I was 6 or 7 years old and told my mom, I want to be a psychiatrist. I, of course, didn't know the word psychiatrist. I just knew that I saw this movie and I felt like I wanted to go into the screen and help her put herself back together. It's the movie for the young folks out there is about a woman who had 27 personalities. Yes. We may have some millennials or Gen Xers.
That's true. They'd be like, what's Sybil? I don't know.
Yeah, like, what's Sybil? Right, exactly. She had 27 personalities, and I saw this movie and I wanted to just get into the screen and put her back together. I knew that's what my life was going to be about. And so I was very, very focused through high school, through college. I was psych pre-med in college, and I just knew I was going to be a psychiatrist. And I accidentally happened upon a job in marketing, had never taken a business class in my life. Like, all of my stuff was social scientists. And, I happened upon a marketing job, and the skies opened up, and I was just like, oh my God, I can wear cool clothes and still figure out why people do what they do.
Look at that.
So I ended up in banking and in marketing, and I truly loved what I did, which was helping people to to live their dreams with the finances that they needed. So I got married, I had this wonderful life, and suddenly my husband passed away. He was 36 years old, and he was an attorney, just like you. And he suddenly passed away, and everything changed for me, as you can imagine. And so one of the things that changed is that I didn't feel spiritually connected to my work anymore. Like, I used to wake up every day and just love to go and help people realize their dreams with money, and it just wasn't connecting with me at all anymore. And I know you understand that, because of your transition with the law. So I started my business. I sat with my mentor, and interestingly, this story about my mentor is going to come back to our theme this year. My mentor couldn't be any more different than me if he tried. He's white. He's Irish. He's an accountant. He's a Republican.
Republican white male. No, that's not
Republican white accountant. And so, but we fell in love because both of us fell in love professionally, of course, because both of us loved Africa. I had been there 13 times. He'd been there twice. And so we came together around this set of values and principles and ideas. And anyway, after Mark passed away, we sat and I said, I just don't love what I do anymore. And he said, well, what do you love about it? And I sat there and drew on a piece of paper. I love helping organizations really support their people. I love getting what the customer wants, meaning doing the research and really understanding what their unmet needs are and how the organization can help them meet them, and creating value for the company. And like, when I drew a Venn diagram, literally, I'm just sitting there going, and when the middle happens and I'm part of that middle, that's what I love. That's what I love. And that's why our company is called Synergy. So 17 years ago, we founded this company. And 5 years after that, I married the guy that Mark went to heaven and picked out. He literally is just an angel. And so we work together. We love each other so much. He's just a wonderful, wonderful man. And so 5 years ago, though, about 6 years ago now, I standing in the mirror getting ready for a board meeting, in my beautiful house. I'm about to get in my beautiful car. I know what it's like to lose everything, right? I know what loss feels like. And I actually saw myself. So, you're usually getting dressed and putting your lipstick on, and you don't really see yourself.
Yeah.
You're just kind of painting yourself. And I actually looked into my eyes and I was like, something's missing. What is this all there is?
Yeah.
But on paper, I had everything.
You know what? You're singing like the language of so many members in this group right now who are like, that's how they started their business, right? Because they were like, look, on paper, everything is great. I've got a spouse, or I've got kids, or I've got a great house, I've got a great car, or everything's just okay, right? But inside, I'm feeling disconnected from my life.
Disconnected.
And I don't know why, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's and that epiphany hit me like a ton of bricks. And so the word flourish jumped into my mind. I'm like, if I'm not flourishing now, what on earth does flourishing mean? Right, exactly. So, being the geek in 6-inch heels that I am, I decided to do some research and really understand what it means to flourish. So I ended up writing a book about it and thinking to myself, well, if we could pull together just 100 women intimately to have a discussion about what it means to flourish, how you're flourishing, what mistakes you feel like you've made, then we could really bring along those emerging leaders and really help them to understand that flourishing isn't a destination. Yeah. It's a journey. There's no top of the mountain you get to and you're like, yes,
I flourished. Now
I flourished. Now I'm done. Yes. Yeah. So this idea of a conversation actually started in Washington, D.C. We had our first Flourish 5 years ago in Washington. So I'm just so grateful, so honored, so humbled by the response and the results that we've been able to achieve for these women. So some people walk in, they've got the great job, they have everything, right? Yeah. But they haven't written the book, or they haven't gotten that next promotion. Yep. Like they feel like they've gotten to the top and they can't get to that next place. They've got, health issues they haven't addressed. They don't sleep enough. Yeah. They carry stress.
So this is like the resume of a high-performing, high-achieving woman, right? Like, I'm not prioritizing my health. I'm not sleeping enough. There's more I want to do, but I've hit a plateau. I'm not quite sure how to break through. Yes. So now I'm just going to do more and then sleep less and then prioritize my health even less. Yes. Right? And it gets to this point where it's like, stop trying to do it on your own, right? Stop trying to do it on your own. Let's come together in a community and figure this out so you can put yourself first again, so you can sleep again, so you can have everything you want, but doing it in a way that's not depleting you, right? And energizing.
Right.
That's what I love about this conference, right? So let's talk about that first conference. So that first conference, women walked through the door and you say you love the results that they walked out with, but what were, if you could summarize in a sentence or two, the overall, because each person had individual results, but if you could summarize the overall results that happened from the women who attended that first conference and maybe even who have attended the multiple conferences since, how would you summarize that?
That's a great question. No one's ever asked me that before. So, so the first thing that I would say is that every single person felt transformed. Yeah. So there wasn't one person, and that's why I want it to be intimate, right? That is why it's not 10,000 people. I had no vision of a large conference. The intimacy was so important. So whatever your challenge was, you really got an opportunity to address that challenge in a safe space. So I talk about Flourish as the nexus between, going to Harvard's AMP program, right? Where you really get sort of that substance, the meat and bones of how and what and who and where. But you also feel like you've gone to lunch with the Dalai Lama and Oprah. And so you're floating away.
I like it.
So so it's kind of the nexus between this idea of substance and what am I going to do with my life, and this emotional transformation, which we need so much as women. And so the first thing is that they really feel transformed. The second thing is that they walk out with a 100-day plan with their name on it, and they have worked through what their challenges are and how. So just the writing down of it and the agreement of the people around you, right? That is completely transformational.
And that's what I mean, right? How many conferences do people go to where, you're learning a lot of information, right? But then you go home with 8 hours worth of information in a notebook, and you sit down and you look at it, and you're just like, I don't know where to start.
I don't know where to start.
This is great. I'm going to come back to this notebook some other time, right? When it's not overwhelming, right? So that's what I love about this is that, the people who attend are going to walk away with a carefully vetted and created plan from the day that makes what you've landed on doable, right? So you know what you're going to do the minute you get home. You don't have to flip through all of your notebooks of notes and try to figure it out all over again, right?
Yeah. And then the third thing, which you just sort of keyed me in on, which is so critical, they also leave with an accountability partner.
Oh, no.
So just in case your pretty notebook hits your dresser or your bookshelf, you have someone calling you like, hey, remember you said you were going to get that promotion? What's step one? Let's talk through that.
How's that going for you?
How's that going for you?
So important. I love that. It's so great. I think that's so important. So each conference, so this is the overall idea, right, of the conference is women. Let's talk about the type of women who come, because I think that that's important too, right? So we said high performing, high achieving, go-getting women, but where are they in their life? Are they in corporate America? Are they entrepreneurs? Is there a mix? Is there who are the attendees of the conference?
Yeah, that's a great question. So 65 to 60. Well, in DC, it's probably closer to half and half. But overall, our conferences are about 65% corporate and 35-40% entrepreneurs. In DC, there are more entrepreneurs because, quite frankly, the government's there. So either they're working somehow as a lobbyist or as an attorney or in some way supporting the government or those who support the government. But in most cities, it is a little bit more heavier toward corporate women. Where are they in their careers? They're senior leaders, not necessarily C-suite. We always have speakers that are C-suite, but our core marketplace is really those senior leaders who are looking to advance, or those high-performing mid-managers who are looking to advance, or business owners that are like, how do I get my business to the next level?
Yeah, which is a question nobody in the Women's Business Garden is ever asking. Right?
Ever asked,
right? This is it, right? This is it. All of you are always asking me, how do I get my conference or how do I get my business to the next level? I'm like, this is a conference that you're going to want to go to that will help you with that. So let's talk about the structure of the day, because we've talked about, you just said there's speakers, but people also leave with a plan. And what are, is it implementation, speaking, breakout? How is the day structured?
Sure. So we designed the day again, and I'll give you a little bit of background on my academic history. So I talked about being a geek in 6-inch heels, right? So my PhD is in management, and so I focus a lot on trust. Okay. How do you build it? How do you maintain it? How do you repair it when it's broken. And so, so I structured the day really around the participant. And in my mind, I envisioned when she walks in, how do I engage every single one of her senses? So Flourish has a smell, there's music, like every single sense that you can imagine is activated. So there's that aspect. You walk in and you're immediately greeted by people. There's a lot of hugging. I hug everyone. I'm definitely a hugger. So you feel warm and welcomed, and completely safe. It's like you walk into the room and there's this zone of psychological safety, which is really important. So the morning is about being poured into. So we start with a welcome speaker, an opening speaker, and these are women who have, reached the apex, right?
Yeah, so
if there was a mountain.
Everybody watching, I know that a lot of you are going to watch on replay, but one of our own members and a woman you know very well, Christina Barreri, is actually going to be one of our speakers at
Yes.
Yeah, she's our opening speaker. So exciting.
Yes, she is. We have Jenna Lovett from Boeing also. So we have Christina, we have Jenna Lovett, and then we have these amazing. So after the morning speakers, I give a little bit of science talk. Sorry.
Sorry,
really
not
about
sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Right? We have to have the data. Yeah. So I give a little bit of a talk around our theme. And this year, our theme is engaging our male allies. So Rita, for the past 4 years, we've really been reflective. We have been talking about how to, who am I? What are my values? How do I reflect those values in everything that I do? How do I connect better with the women around me so that I don't feel like I'm doing this all alone? And so for the past 4 years, we've really been introspective. And last year, Me Too sort of blew up. And so then we started to have to look outside of ourselves and say, okay, how many of you have been, through some kind of either personally experienced something that was uncomfortable for you or witnessed something that was uncomfortable? And pretty much 100% of the women in the room, raised their hands. And so this year, our theme is engaging our male allies. I just love that theme. And it is, it's so now, because men have 90% of the power. I mean, literally women, if you think about corporate boards or CEOs of Fortune 5,000 companies, right? Less than 5%. Yep. Corporate boards, it's something like 13%.
I mean, men still control, most of the investing in the capital when it comes to entrepreneurship, right? Yeah. Same thing, yeah.
Same thing. Yet we make all the decisions about where money is spent at home, right? And so the idea is, how do we become better partners? How do we help men help us? And so we communicate differently. We mentor and sponsor one another differently. So how do we really shift our thinking to help men help us, and how do we help them shift their thinking?
I know it's such a great topic, because so many, like, I'll have this conversation frequently with people who are like, either they love that I run an all women's group, but then I talk to them, and as I look at their network, it's all women, right? So they're in all women groups for business, or in all women groups for their social, they're in all women, and then they're wondering why they're not advancing, right? Why they're not getting to the next level. And I'm like, like, we can't live in a vacuum where we're not also collaborating with and bringing on men into the world who really want to lift up women. And so there are, like, I think there's 6 male members of the Women's Business Garden, right? And these are men who really support women entrepreneurs, women leaders. And I have, like, let them into this space because I think it's so important that we not alienate men, right? While we're also trying to say, look, we can rise. It does not also mean that the men must fall, right? Like that's just not what it means. And
the pie gets bigger.
Right. I think that this is such an important topic.
Right.
Yeah. Because it really is kind of a key differentiator for what is holding most people back or keeping that brick wall right in front of them is they have not surrounded themselves with the right kind of support, which includes the male allies, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there are some men who, you know, have thinking that they may not want to become allies of women. They may not, you know, desire to be allies of women. But there are some men who want to help us. There are some men who really want to invest in women. There are some men who understand that the value that we bring, although very different, is so powerful and so important. We collaborate better. We're more empathetic. We listen with our both ears, right? Not just our mouths. So there's so many things that we bring to the table in addition to our skills and talents and capabilities. And so this conference, this particular conference is so important to me and so many women around the country. I bring it up, you know, to corporate sponsors, and they're just like, oh my God, how do I send, you know, a team of women, and can we send a few men, right? It's still a women's conference. The conference is for women, but the conversation is going to be with men. So how do we engage them? How do we, again, communicate differently? How do we mentor and sponsor one another differently? And some of the fears that they have because of Me Too, right? Me Too is a great thing. It's people speaking up and raising their hands and saying, I'm not going to take it anymore. But that also causes fear for our allies. They're like, you know, I don't know what's the right way to help you and to support you. And so we're going to talk about all of that. It's going to be so critical. So Kevin Reynolds from United Bank, the president of United Bank, is going to be here to be there. Deborah Adams Simmons, who is the creative editor at National Geographic, T. Hannibal, who is a U.S. Marine, just this amazing, amazing woman who obviously, you know, went through the ranks of a male-dominated industry, the military, and can speak so powerfully. She also happens to be a reality TV show star, and our male host, actually, Jonathan Elias, who is an ABC host there in DC. So we just have these incredible speakers. So just to recap the day, morning is about conversations. It's about really hearing not just the pretty, not just the flowers and butterflies, right? Here's how I've flourished. And if you think about a seed, it has to completely destroy itself before it becomes the flower that we ultimately see. And so we want to hear about the hard part, not just the easy part, right? So we have these executive chats that are these intimate conversations, these breakouts. Then we come back and we honor an entrepreneur. We have a young man for the first time, our emerging leader. He's, I think, 16 or 17 years old. Yes. We honor them, and then we have this really powerful keynote conversation with the people that I just mentioned. Our executive chat speakers are awesome as well. We have Alicia Wilson, we have Dr. Kate, we have
You'll have to come to the conference and see.
You'll have to come to the conference and see. We have Trey Mock, who was recommended by Christina. He has an insurance company where I think 80% of his employees are women. Like half of his executive staff
and a
is
field
women.
Like that's amazing. And
that's
insurance,
right.
Financial
services.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we have him, and so it's just so the whole morning is about being poured into learning, again, the good, the bad, and the ugly about how these people are flourishing. And the definition of flourish is to grow luxuriantly, right? That's the definition. To grow luxuriantly,
Yeah,
right? And so you never get there, but you continue to grow with grace.
Yep.
And continue to learn with love, right? So the just so powerful. And then the afternoon. So you've heard from everyone gets to hear all of the speakers. And then the afternoon, that's when we break out our books.
Yep.
And honey, it's no joke.
True. It's like you're gonna get it done. You're gonna get it done. And you know me. That's why I'm a coach here. Like I don't. There are a million conferences that come through that I don't volunteer for or coach it, because my philosophy is like, don't get stuck in just consumption. Consumption is important, right, but we have to move to production. We got to do it. That's the only way to learn it, right? And that's what I loved about this conference, is it's such a great like mix of learning, but then you're implementing and you're doing and you're making it happen right away, right? I love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just quickly, as a side note, I just love you. You're just so so committed to helping women to succeed.
Thank you.
And that is, each one of our amazing co-chairs. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got so much going on. But the idea that they literally put their time and effort into helping women to succeed is just incredible. So I'm so grateful to you for that.
I'm really glad that you asked me to be a part of this. I think I know it's gonna be such an amazing day. So why don't we tell people, like, if you were to complete the sentence stem, this conference is for you if, what would be some bullet points that would follow that? So like, this conference is for you if.
Yeah, so a couple things. The first is, this conference is definitely for you if you're in business and you feel like you're struggling, either financially, your social network is not where it should be, your sales are not where they should be, your product set perhaps is not where it should be. So if you have any of those questions, you can begin to unpack those in the afternoon, right? Again, all of the speakers are wonderful. And by the afternoon, you've got all this information to pour into. Okay, now it's about me. How do I look inward and take all of this information and use it to literally change my life and my business? So if you're a business owner, and you have any of those challenges, then this is for you. If you're in corporate America, even if you're the CEO, there are challenges that you have and opportunities that you have. And so the question becomes, do you live in the challenges, or do you figure out a way around them, right? Do you take advantage of those opportunities and really leverage them? Or are you sitting back and waiting for somebody else to do it? And so, so those people in corporate America, maybe you're looking for the next promotion. Number one, maybe you feel like you're not being heard at work, right? And you're, I've got so many stories in my head, but one in particular, a woman who stayed for the VIP. I think this was in year 2, and she talked about being so, like, she was the chief diversity officer of her organization. And she said that every time she walked into a room or a meeting that she wasn't managing, she felt like she wasn't heard.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the men, mostly men, around the table would talk, and she'd have an idea. 10 minutes later, somebody else would have the same idea, and it's like, yay, right? I mean, she literally was not being heard. And so in the VIP session, we literally pulled apart some of the things that she was doing that she could change, and some of the things that she could say to others in order to change that situation. So she called me back a month later, and she was just like, oh my God. For the first time in like 5 years, I went to this meeting, to this session, and they heard me.
Yeah.
They literally heard what I said the first time I said it. So if you feel like you're not being heard for whatever reason, this conference is for you. And then, you know, I mean, we've had senators and mayors and you know, all kinds of folks attend. Even some of the speakers leave and they're just like, you know, I just came here to speak.
Right.
You know, I did not come here for transformation. And I feel so blessed by every woman that I've met here. So if you want to, you know, be in a room where people are thriving and want to thrive and want to help you thrive, that's the power, right? So everyone's on the same page, rowing the boat in the same direction, which is amazing. And then another thing, TC Coleman, one of our amazing co-chairs, as you know, is working with the Pearls organization to bring some.
Oh no. Oh no, Rachel froze. Oh no. I'm just going to keep talking while Rachel is frozen. We're going to see if Rachel comes back to us or not. Technical difficulties, guys. I just want to show you, right? Like, technical difficulties don't matter. I hear so many of you saying that you're hesitating on doing Facebook Lives or doing interviews with people because of technical difficulties. I wish Rachel could finish what she said. Maybe she's going to come back on. Maybe she'll come out and come back in to the video where we're going to see. But hopefully you've listened. If you're just hopping on now, if you're just seeing what happened now, like, go back and listen, guys, because there is no conference like this conference in Washington, D.C. And it's actually happening in Crystal City. So let's, you know, Virginia, woo woo, right? But still, it's D.C. But I mean, this is a room full of high-powered people. Like Rachel said, right? You're going to have that senators have come, mayors have come. We've got corporate executive women, right? Like high-level women in huge corporations. We've got CEOs and executives that are also males of these corporations, like coming together. We have entrepreneurs. We have everybody that you can absolutely think of. Rachel's messaging me saying what happened? Rachel, I don't know if you're back in and watching, but you can try to request to come back, or if I see you, I will see if you can come back. But guys, anyway, hopefully you got the gist of everything, right? But this is a conference, really. I mean, I know that we've all gone, and you all know that I love entrepreneur conferences, but the reason I co-chaired this conference, the reason I'm a co-chair for this, is I believe in not only what they're doing, but how they're doing it. And I put my stamp on it that it is going to elevate you, whether you're in corporate America, whether you're an entrepreneur. I mean, again, if you're just joining, go back, listen to everything that Rachel said. Listen to what the day is actually going to be about. You will be in a room with like 100 other women, a small, intimate room. But I mean, these aren't just any, I meant to, but these aren't just anybody, right? These are high-level corporate executive women. We are having the president of United Bank come and speak. We're having Christina Barreri from Reston Limousine speak. We have all of these people, but they're also coming to help you throughout the day, to help you create that 100-day plan to take your career, to take your business, to take your life to the next level. You're going to receive all the support. It's just going to be a really amazing day. And so what I'm going to do, since Rachel isn't on with me now, I'm gonna repost this, and in the like header right up above me and in the comments below me, all of that, I'm gonna put where you can go to find more information and where you can go to get your ticket, because this is happening again May 3rd, Crystal City. If you have any questions about it, please, if you have questions for Rachel, if you have questions about the topic, if you have questions about what you heard, like whatever it is, put them in the comments. Let us know. I will be there all day. I am actually not speaking at this event, guys. I am a co-chair for this event. I am facilitating one of the panels. It is going to be so good. But I mean, you guys have to know that for me to be this heavily involved in something like this, it's the real deal, right? I hear so many of you say, I want to improve my network. There's so many of you that actually are entrepreneurs where your target market is corporate America. Your target market is like corporate executives or corporate executive women or like this is the event for you to be at, right? You are going to have high level, high achieving corporate executives at this conference, as well as really high performing, dynamic entrepreneurs. You're going to have a mix of some, governors and mayors hop in and all of this, but you're just going to have more than that, the most powerful experience combining education with implementation and full support in a small setting so you walk out with a 100-day plan to achieve the next level. That's what the Flourish Conference is. Oh, there's Rachel. I see her back. She's saying so awesome to chat with you. I'm going to try to bring you back on, Rachel. I don't know if I can. I tried. But Rachel, so if you can post the link in the comments to where people can get the tickets, right? Then we will absolutely be spreading that information. Guys, I'm going to be talking about this a lot between now and May 3rd. I really hope to see you there. I hope to be sitting alongside of you for this, right? Like I said, this is not one where you're just coming and listening to me speak and leaving, right? This is an event where I am participating right alongside you as we do everything, listening to these amazing speakers, working my own 100-day action plan, being open, vulnerable about everything as well, right? And I hope that you're going to be there with me. So Rachel, if you wouldn't mind in the comments putting the link where people can get tickets, and I'll be posting. And if you have any questions, guys, but I hope you really liked to get to know Rachel. Rachel is in DC quite frequently. I'm so excited to have her as a member of the Women's Business Garden. I think she's a valuable asset to this space and somebody that you should all reach out and get to know. Comment on her post, tell her hello, welcome her to the garden, let her know that you're here, let her know who you are. This is a woman, Rachel is a woman who knows people, and she is somebody you're going to want to know because her heart is so pure and so good, and she really does just lift everybody to success who is around her. So you're going to want to be in her circle. So anyway, technical difficulties at the beginning, technical difficulties at the end. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for being here. And I will see you guys tonight, hopefully at 5 o'clock for my Facebook Live, when we're going to talk about mistakes that people make in getting clients. So I will see you back at 5. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.